Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be doing another character showcase in My Academia Ultra Impact. And for today's episode we're going to be showcasing Fantasy Todoroki. So on the channel we've already showcased Fantasy Deku and Fantasy Bakugo, and in those videos I talked about how good they are, and Fantasy Todoroki is just like those two. He is extremely good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know any other way to describe it. I think he's insane. I think that's like the best way I can describe it. And I wanted to showcase him today because we've already showcased the other two, but also right now he is back out in the like recruit area, like you can like summon for him, along with the Fantasy Deku and Fantasy Bakugo. So, I thought it'd be a great time to showcase him, so that way you guys now have all three of them that, are on the banner, like showcase videos you can go and watch to see if you want to summon for any of these three characters. And in my opinion, I would highly recommend summoning for all three of these characters because I think all three of them are insane. And yeah, I just wanted to mention that real quick. So let's just dive into the showcase so I can show you how insane Fantasy Todoroki is. So let's get into it. So first off, he's a blue type character and he is a UR character. I have him kind of like maxed out currently to like the point I can get him at, like in terms of like levels and stuff like that. The max level I can get him at is level 90, and I have him maxed out at level 90. And I have him awakened, and if we go to the ability board, they've actually changed this since like the last time we've done a showcase video, so let's take a look here. So currently I have him finished at page 6, and I'm working on page 7 right now. And if we go to the peace route, I almost have it completely done. I've been spending stars on him because I just think he's that good. Like, I am willing to spend stars on this character because I think he's extremely good. So I almost have him maxed out here. And if we go to the new DX piece route, I don't have him, anywhere on here yet because this is brand new. And for like the DX piece route, you need a DX piece, and to get a DX piece you need to get another copy of the character, and I haven't pulled any extra copies of Fantasy Todoroki yet, so I can't level him up here yet. So that's where I have him at right now on all the different routes. So just know when you're watching this video during the showcase, what you see is not even him at his full potential. Like, he can get even more powerful because I don't have him maxed out on all the ability boards yet, so just keep that in mind. So going over his skills now, we have his plus ultra move, which is a cross of ice and fire, and this is where he will deal 550% damage to a single opponent, and the skill impact will be increased by 35% when landing a critical hit. And basically he will also decrease the opponent's defense by 25% for 3 turns, and it will also reduce the character's action skill cooldown time by 2. So yeah, a pretty solid plus ultra move. 550% damage to a single opponent is pretty nice. Getting a skill impact increase by 35% when landing a critical hit is pretty good because that will pair nicely with his other skills. So again, pretty good because 35% is insane, and getting a skill impact increase is pretty nice. So yeah. Also, decreasing the opponent's defense by 25% for 3 turns is extremely nice because 25% is really good. And then reducing the character's action skill cooldown time by 2 is really good because his action skills have like high cooldown, so that's really nice that they gave him something in his plus ultra that will help him with that issue. So yeah, a pretty solid plus ultra move. Moving on to his first action skill, it's called Ice Fog, and this is where he will deal 350% damage to a single opponent. It has a high chance of giving frostbite to the opponent for 3 turns. It will increase critical hit rate of all allies by 20% for 3 turns when used in a successfully executed skill chain, and it will give all allies a barrier that will nullify 1 hit when used in a second or later successfully executed skill chain, and the cooldown time on it is 6 turns. So yeah, like I said, his cooldown times on his action skills are pretty high, so the plus ultra comes in clutch there because it's a cooldown time of 6 turns. So when you use the plus ultra move, it will reduce it by 2. So again, pretty nice. Dealing 350% damage to a single opponent, it's not bad. A high chance of giving frostbite to the opponent for 3 turns is extremely nice because frostbite is probably a term that not a lot of people know, so I'll basically define it for you. So frostbite is where he will prevent the opponent from taking part in their skill chains, and it will also deal damage back to them after they deal damage. So yeah, again, pretty solid because preventing your opponent from taking part in their skill chains is great because if you can perform a skill chain, that means you'll build plus ultra meter. But if you're preventing the opponent from taking part of that skill chain, then they won't build it as fast. And also, when they deal damage, some of that damage is inflicted back on them. That's also just a nice little bonus. So again, giving them frostbite at a high chance is really good. I think that's really good. And then giving a critical hit rate increase to all allies by 20% for 3 turns when used in a successfully executed skill chain is really nice, because you're most likely going to be using this action skill in a skill chain, and if you perform it correctly, then you'll give your allies a 20% critical hit rate boost, which is really good. I mean, 20% is great for all your allies. Like, that's insane. On top of that, you'll give your allies a barrier that will nullify 1 hit if you use it in the second or later portion of that skill chain, and if you do it correctly. And that's extremely good, because you basically give all your allies a barrier that will be able to tank 1 hit for free. Like, that's extremely good. Like, this skill is insane. I think this is like his best skill in my opinion, because it provides so much. Like, it will give your teammates, if you use it in a skill chain correctly, a barrier. It will increase their critical hit rates. Also, you have a high chance of giving the opponent frostbite. On top of that, it deals 350% damage to a single opponent. Like, I just think it's overall like a really, really good action skill. Like, it's really good. Moving on to his second action skill, it's called Ice Block, and this is where he'll deal 200% damage to all the opponents. It has a medium chance of freezing all the opponents as well for 1 turn. It will also decrease the opponent's speed by 20% for 3 turns when used in a successfully executed skill chain. The cooldown time on it is 5 turns. So again, another cooldown time that's extremely high, but again, that plus ultra move will help you with that high cooldown time. So, that problem's already fixed itself with the plus ultra move. And then dealing 200% damage to all the opponents is extremely good, because you hit every opponent for 200% damage. Pretty good. On top of that, you have a medium chance of freezing all the opponents. Like, again, extremely good. And then it will decrease the opponent's speed by 20% for 3 turns when used in a skill chain correctly. Again, another thing where if you use it in a skill chain, which you most likely will, and if you perform it correctly, you will basically decrease the opponent's speed by 20% for 3 turns. Again, extremely good. Like, I just think it's so crazy how good his action skills are. And we're not even done yet, because we have his auto skills, so let's take a look at those. So for his first auto skill, it's called I'm Going to Get Better. And this is where he will increase critical hit rate of all allies by 25% when the character has a barrier. On top of that, it will give character a barrier that nullifies 2 hits after receiving 3 attacks from the opponent whose speed is decreased up to 3 times, and a multi-hit attack will equal 1 attack. Increasing critical hit rate of all allies by 25% when the character has a barrier is extremely good, because again, his one action skill gives barriers. So if he has a barrier, then he'll basically increase the critical hit rate of all allies by 25%. Like, that's so good. Like, another critical hit rate increase for his allies. Like, if we go back up to his action skill here, where is it? Increased critical hit rate of all allies by 20% for 3 turns when used in a successfully executed skill chain. Like, look, there's like a critical hit rate bonus for your allies right there, and 1 for his auto skill as well. Like, come on, like, that's crazy. On top of that, gives character a barrier that nullifies 2 hits after receiving 3 attacks from the opponent whose speed is decreased. Again, another barrier specifically for him, but it will nullify 2 hits after receiving 3 attacks from an opponent whose speed is decreased. Again, his one action skill, it will decrease the opponent's speed by 20% for 3 turns when used in a successfully executed skill chain. So again, if you use it in a skill chain, like this action skill, if you use it in a skill chain correctly, it will decrease the opponent's speed by 20% for 3 turns, which again, his auto skill will kick in where, basically if he's hit 3 times by the opponent whose speed is decreased, he'll get a barrier that nullifies 2 hits. Like, that's so good. Going over his other auto skill, it's called Cool and Hot, and basically every time a critical hit is made, it will increase critical hit rate of all allies by 5% up to 10 times, and will increase characters plus ultra gauge by 10%. Again, another really solid auto skill. First off, every time a critical hit is made, it will increase the critical hit rate of all allies by 5% up to 10 times, again giving more boost to your allies for their critical hit rate. Like, that's just another thing that's providing an increase on critical hit rate for your allies. Like, it's just another thing. That's crazy. On top of that, it will increase the character's plus ultra gauge by 10%. So yeah, that is Fantasy Todoroki's moveset. Again, it's just so good. Like, it's so, like, insane how nicely, like, the moves pair together with each other. Like, I think that's so great. So in a nutshell, where I would use Fantasy Todoroki is basically kind of like a defensive support, if that makes any sense. Like, the defensive option comes from him giving barriers to his teammates, which is really good, and then the support option comes from you know, providing like a lot of like debuffs, like decreasing the opponent's defense, you know, decreasing the opponent's speed, you know, freezing them, giving them frostbite. On top of that, you know, providing great support for your allies, like increasing their critical hit rate. So yeah, that's where I'd use him, kind of like as a defensive support character. I think that makes the most sense. And yeah, that is Fantasy Todoroki. So the plan is we're going to take him into VE Tower to show him off gameplay wise now. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so we're here in the VE Tower, and the plan is we're going to take him to the Flame Stage. The reason why we're going to go to the Flame Stage is because, well, first off, he has a boost here where it will increase character's power by 30%. You know, and also it will increase the character's max HP by, I believe it's 50% if the thing goes by again. Yeah, 50%. And we're also going to take him to the newest difficulty level SS, and we're going to go to floor 3. And yeah, the reason why we're going on difficulty level SS is because I just want to show how insane Fantasy Todoroki is, where he can take on like one of the highest like levels of VE Tower, which again, the highest right now is level SS. It's brand new, so yeah, that's why I want to take him here. And also, I think it's funny that we're fighting Endeavor using Todoroki. I don't know, I just think it's kind of funny. And here is the team I designed for Fantasy Todoroki. First off, his memory here, Adventure Awaits, which again, in my opinion, is one of the best memories in the game. Basically, the skill is once per battle, it will increase characters plus ultra gauge by 5% for every different type of character on the team. It will increase characters' abilities depending on the types of the characters on the team. Basically, it will increase characters' power by 25% if there are any red type characters, skill impact by 30% if there are any blue type characters, max HP by 30% if there are any green type characters, critical hit rate by 25% if there are any yellow type characters, and speed by 25% if there are any purple type characters. So again, like I said, in my opinion, this is one of the best memories in the game, and I also think it fits with Fantasy Todoroki because it's fantasy themed, so that's why I selected this memory. Then we've also got Hato on the squad because, again, she's a great healer, so just in case Todoroki comes close to dying, she can heal him up because we don't want him dying because we're showcasing Todoroki. I've also got UR Winter Costume Asui on the squad because of one of her auto skills, and the auto skill is this one right here, Emotional Pillar, and basically what it does is it will increase plus ultra gauge of all blue type allies by 25% when the battle starts, and that fits Fantasy Todoroki because, well, first off, we know his plus ultra is extremely good, and he is a blue type ally, so you know he'll get this increase from this auto skill, so I think that'll work out pretty nicely. And again, we ignore the substitution characters because, you know, we're only focusing on the regulars. They're just substitution characters. So that is the team I've designed for Fantasy Todoroki, so let's get into it. Alrighty, there is Fantasy Todoroki's intro. Pretty solid. I like how he like swings his sword around. I think that's pretty sick. But let's get into it. So first off, we have to remember to use the action skills correctly because you get bonuses if you use the action skills correctly in the skill chain. So let's do this, this, and this. Hopefully I'll do this correctly because hitting the camouflage ability is always hard. So here we go. Yep, I got it. Sweet. And we've also got a chance of freezing there. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Alright. And there we go. And let's do this first. We'll do his action skill and then we'll do the plus ultra because oh my goodness, I messed it up. How did I mess up the easiest skill chain? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I messed that up. But like I was saying before I messed it up, I was gonna say I'll do the action skills first before the plus ultra because the plus ultra, once we use it, then we'll provide the reduce cooldown time. So let's do this. I'm going to slow down the plus ultra for Fantasy Todoroki here so we can see it because he is a UR character and we have a custom plus ultra here. So here we go. Just like the other fantasy characters, you get a custom background which looks pretty sick. And I just love the colors on Fantasy Todoroki's plus ultra attack. It's like a really nice blend of blue and red because of the fire and ice. I think that's pretty sick. And let's just do this. Here we go. And we can just skip that. And let's just do this and skip that because you're not Fantasy Todoroki. Okay. And now let's pair this up. Let's see if we can get a freeze here. I can't believe I messed up the skill chain. Like, the one thing I've been talking about with Fantasy Todoroki, or one of the main things, is you want to make sure you use his action skills correctly in the skill chain, and I messed it up. I can't believe I did that. But let's try this again now. So here we go. And oh my gosh, I'm so bad. How did I mess it up twice? Oh my gosh, how am I that bad? How did I mess it up twice? I truly don't know how I did that. That's really impressive that I was able to do that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I messed it up twice. How do you do that? Oh my gosh, how do you do that? I truly don't know how you do that. Also, why did it just skip the animation? I didn't click anything for it to skip the animation. That was kind of goofy. I don't know why it skipped the animation without me clicking anything. But yeah, let's keep going here. Hey, it was allowed to play Hato's animation now. I don't know why it skipped Fantasy Todoroki's Plus Ultra animation. That's so weird. That's really weird. I don't know why they did that. That's fine. Asui dying. It's all good. Okay. As long as it's not Fantasy Todoroki because we need him. Okay. I'm going to do this, this, and this. I think that's what I'm going to do here. So, there we go. And boom. And there we go. I finally hit it correctly. Let's go. And boom, boom, boom. Okay. And let's see if we can finish off with Todoroki's Plus Ultra. There we go. Now it's playing out. I don't know why it skipped it. Like, I didn't click anything and it just skipped it. But there we go. 52,000 damage. Pretty good. And this is his outro. Pretty sick. I like how he like puts his sword away and like the ice particles fly across the screen. I think that's pretty nice. So yeah, that is Fantasy Todoroki. Like I said, I think he's insane, just like the other fantasy characters. He's extremely good. Again, he is currently out in a banner with, you know, Fantasy Deku and Fantasy Bakugo, so I would highly recommend summoning for any of them, actually. Fantasy Deku, Fantasy Bakugo, and Fantasy Todoroki are extremely good, and yeah, that is Fantasy Todoroki. I think it's pretty sick that Fantasy Todoroki's in this game because he is technically a unique variation of Todoroki because the fantasy costumes aren't in any other My Academia game to my knowledge as of right now. I believe they're coming to Ultra Rumble, but that game isn't out yet, so currently right now they are unique to this game, which is pretty neat. And yeah, that is my Fantasy Todoroki showcase video. If you guys did enjoy, please like and subscribe. That'd be really amazing. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs before the end of the year, so if you guys happen to enjoy this video at any time, please like and subscribe. That'd be really amazing. It would help me out a lot and I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.